Today you'll discover how to elevate your home decor with Iron Orchid Designs inspired ideas that are both creative and affordable. Welcome to the Chic Show. Today's hosts are Loli D's Creations, Lady Red Crafting, and Joanna's DIY Life. I have their channels in the description box below. For project number 1, I was inspired by these IOD molds, the cloche mold and the angel mold. I'm going to be using the cloche mold for this project. Now I used some quick set resin, and once I pulled it out of the mold, I wanted it to kind of mold around this can that I had, so I went ahead and placed it on there. I really didn't take it out quite early enough, but you have to be kind of careful with that. I wanted it to mold around the can, so I used some painter's tape to tape it on for about 24 hours so that it would be more of a rounded shape. Next day I removed the painter's tape, and now I'm going to be painting this piece. I'm not painting in my usual place. I'm at my dad's house, so I don't have all of my things with me, so I would have done this a little bit differently at home. But I'm just using some acrylic paint in black, and I'm going to paint the entire thing. Back, and I'm just dabbing on some white paint. I'm going to be using several different colors of paint to try and get a similar look of the inspiration piece, but in my own style. If I were at home, I would have used my DIY patina paint in iron and the green spray that you spray on top of it. That gives it more of a rusted look, but I don't have that with me, so I'm using these color paints, the teal, the kind of brown color that kind of looks rusty, and I'm just going to mix those together until I get the look that I want. Now that I've got more of the look that I want, I'm using some gold rub and buff, and I'm just going to be rubbing that on to those raised areas just to bring out those details. To adhere this piece to the front of the can, I'll use some clear Gorilla Glue and painter's tape to hold it overnight. And here's a look at it with a plant inside. I didn't have something that would actually fit, so I just used what was on hand. This was a piece that I saw before Christmas, and I'm going to do something similar but without the glitter so that it can be used year-round. So this piece was from Dollar General. I got it on clearance, and I'm also going to be using these stamps from IOD. I'm using a dark gray ink pad that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to be stamping using various stamps on the front and the sides. This star is from one of the Tapers molds from their holiday release, and I'm going to be using some silver rub and buff to paint in various places on the mold, mostly on the star and then just a couple of accent places. Now that I have the silver placed where I want it, I'm going to go back with some gold rub and buff, and I'm going to add that to the other parts. Once I have it like I want it, I'm going to be using some more of that Gorilla Glue, and I'm going to place that down on the wood piece, and I'm going to stack some heavy books on top just to hold it in place overnight. So this project was using one of the IOD invitations only molds. Now I used this little piece from Dollar Tree. I think it's a coaster or something, but anyway, I'm going to be painting it with some off-white acrylic paint. I'm also going to be painting the cat from the invitation only mold, and I'm going to be painting it with that same paint. I did give both of these pieces 2 coats of paint. Once the paint is dry, I'm going to go back with some gold rub and buff, and I'm going to be painting in some of the main parts of this piece, like the bow tie, the hat or the hat brim, the lapels on his jacket, things like that. And then I'm going to go back and dry brush over all of the details. Again, using that same clear Gorilla Glue, I'm going to be placing this on the back of the mold, and I'm going to place it down on the coaster and let it dry overnight. I got this little stand at Walmart for 98 cents, and I'm going to be using that gold rub and buff on the stand as well. Now I'm using a very small brush here. It still has the same gold rub and buff on it. I didn't add anything extra, but what I am adding is some clear wax. So a little bit of that rub and buff is coming off around the mold, which is exactly what I want. I want to give it kind of a shadow. And then I'm going to use something a little bit unconventional to add to it. Now I am dragging this wax along the whole piece just to kind of age it, to give it a little bit of dimension. I've seen a lot of people use decrepit dust, and I don't have any of that yet, but I am using some cheap makeup. I scraped out some of this brown eyeshadow, and I'm dipping my brush into it, and I'm going around the edge of the mold once again, and that clear wax will help that homemade decrepit dust, if you will. It will help it adhere and give it more of a shadow effect all the way around. You could also achieve this kind of look using dark wax as well. Now all I need to do is add this to the stand, and this piece is ready to be displayed. I hope you got what you came for today. If you did, share the chic by hitting that thumbs up button, subscribing, or sharing this video with a friend. Be sure and check out our host channels and the playlist in the description box below. I'll leave another video you might like right here. Thanks so much for watching. So long for now. Bye.